everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren, and on my channel we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel, and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be presenting you a thorough review and comparison of two outerwear brands that are going to be Moncler and Canada Goose. We'll be discussing levels of warmth, price, wear and tear, pros and cons. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts, then please keep on watching. So let's first start with Canada Goose, and right here the model that I have to show you is a Canada Goose Victoria Parka. I have mine in green, and then it has the fur, and my size when it comes to Canada Goose is size extra small. I feel like their sizes are really true to size. It is easy to choose a jacket even online. Obviously I would recommend going to the store literally for anything and everything, but if you absolutely cannot, then you will still be able to order online. Obviously they have like a return policy and everything, but they really are true to size. Like my normal size is size extra small, and this worked really nicely. Now this is a jacket that I have had for at least 6 years. And there is some wear and tear to it. So let's maybe start by talking about the wear and tear. So like I've mentioned, I've had it for 6 years and I wear it quite a bit. I lived in Montreal for like an entire year of having this jacket. So that means like the whole winter, every single day of the whole winter, and you know, Canadian winters are quite long. I was wearing this jacket, so definitely a very practical. And then right now when I still go back to visit my family, this is going to be my choice of jacket for the winter. I don't typically wear this here in the States because for me, I don't consider it that it's cold enough for me to bring out a Canada Goose jacket. So I now only wear it when I visit my family. But other than that, I mean, I used to wear it every single day. So the major wear and tear for me comes from the edges and the corners. So if you look at like the corners of the jacket, like right here on the sleeve, for example, you will see that they are starting to fade. That is because I chose green. I didn't choose like black. If you chose black, it would show less. But I went for green. I'm very happy with my choice. I feel like it's very, you know, kind of original, not commonplace at all, but it's still easy to pair with, you know, basically anything and everything because it's dark green. So I really like it. I have green eyes too, so I feel like it really suits me. But it does show a little bit of wear and tear around the corners. Same right here, you know, on this like outer layer. So you can see that it's not brand new. And then the next thing about the wear and tear is going to be stains. So I have actually spilled coffee on my jacket, on myself in the car, and the stains do not come off. First of all, do not ever attempt to do it on your own. Definitely take it to a place like a dry clean place. In Montreal, there's a lot of them that specialize in Canada Goose. But even then, the stains, like some of them didn't even come off. Like right here, for example, you can see. So this is like the inside layer of the jacket. So usually it's closed, so you wouldn't see it. But it's when it's open, you can still see like the little stains of coffee. It isn't the biggest deal, but if you're clumsy and if you have like a tendency, if you're prone to, you know, staining, to not being super, you know, cautious with your stuff, if you're a little bit carefree, then this might not be the best jacket because it's really hard to clean. And most of like, you know, the wear and tear that you can see on the corners actually came after the jacket was washed. If you don't ever wash the jacket, then the wear and tear is going to be a lot less. So it really started showing after I washed the jacket. So next up, we'll talk about pricing. This precise jacket is no longer available in this color combination with the fur. The model is available without the fur and in a different color. I think the shade is called military green, but this isn't what I have. And it retails currently for $1,150 plus tax. So I actually bought mine in Canada, and I think that I paid like less than 900 Canadian dollars back then. This was a long time ago. So for the pricing, I really feel like it's affordable. It isn't over the top, especially given, you know, the fur and then the level of warmth and the down that it takes to make this jacket. Now let's address the level of warmth. So Canada Goose has what's called the Thermal Experience Index, so TEI, and it ranges from 1 to 5. This jacket is a number 3, so that means that it's supposedly appropriate for temperatures ranging from -10 to -20 Celsius. And then it goes up to level 5. Level 5 is for anything -30 Celsius and under. So really, really cold. So I feel like they have a really good range. I think, if I'm not mistaken, level 1 starts at like -5 Celsius, and it's what's called like lightweight. So I feel like they have a really good range, and this seems appropriate for -10 to -20. -20 because I tend to be cold easily. You are starting to push it with this jacket, you would probably need like thermal underwear. I always wear thermal underwear. When I see that it's like -15 and below, then I'll start wearing thermal underwear. I feel like it's so practical, and I hate being cold. So anyway, the level of warmth is really, really good on this jacket, and even if you don't get this precise one, their Thermal Experience Index is very accurate, and it makes it really easy to find a jacket that's suited for your needs. And lastly, let's talk pros and cons. Obviously, the sizing, the fact that it's true to size, was a big pro. I love that. The pricing as well was really there. I felt like it was really reasonable for being a designer brand, for having the quality to it. I really feel like I didn't overpay, especially back then. The level of warmth is very, very versatile. It's very practical to have that. They have such a nice availability of products within each of these thermal indexes. So I love that. These are all pros for Canada Goose. The one con I feel for me is that it's definitely not the best wear and tear, because I chose it in green, but I wouldn't change my choice. I wouldn't get it in black. I feel like it's too basic for black. And then the next thing, maybe in the con section as well, is not as versatile as, you know, like maybe a Moncler jacket, because this is quite sporty. I would not wear this on a date ever. I would definitely wear this, you know, in the countryside, like going on a snowmobile or like on an ATV or whatnot. In downtown Montreal, that's fine. But I wouldn't wear this jacket on a date. It is more sporty, more casual, and less chic. And I feel like this would be very hard to transition from, you know, like day to night, from like a casual outing to a nice event. The versatility is not the best on this jacket. Moving on now to Moncler, we have the Moncler Fulmeris jacket, and the length is quite similar to the length of the Canada Goose one that I showed you earlier. Now, this is a jacket that I just recently acquired this year. By the way, if you haven't seen the unboxing yet and you want to hear my first impressions about this jacket, then I will go ahead and leave the link to the video in the little information link over here for you to see it. But the reason why I feel comfortable comparing both jackets, especially about the wear and tear, is because I have this same model. It's called Ambroise in short length, and I've had this one for 7 years. So for even longer than the Canada Goose jacket. But I feel like, you know, to compare like warmth levels and everything, I felt like this was more appropriate. So anyway, let's talk about the wear and tear. So obviously this one is black, and so is the short one. And the wear and tear shows a lot less. And I have also worn the jacket a lot more than the Canada Goose one, because especially with the short one, it's a jacket that I wear every single day of the winter right here in the Northeast, which, you know, I've been here for like a couple years now, I think like 4 or 5 years. So the jacket is like well worn, and there are no signs of wear and tear. So that's why I'm also not, you know, holding that one up. It's because frankly, there's no signs of wear and tear. So the wear and tear on the Moncler, I would say very comfortably, is a lot better than the Canada Goose. So now when it comes to sizing, I got this jacket in size 0, and I actually went in between, back and forth, between size 0 and size 1 for a really, really long time. I'm telling you like the whole story in the unboxing video, so if you want to check that out, again, it will be in the little information link over there. But it was very hard for me to choose. I feel like I'm normally not a size 0, especially for here, because I have quite broad shoulders for a girl. But size 1 was like big. Not super big here, but big in the like midsection and the stomach section. It really kind of made it look like I was pregnant, especially if I didn't have like a super thick sweater under. And when you have this type of jacket, I really don't feel like you would be in the type of situation where you would want to wear a super thick, you know, sweater under. So size 1 was not a great choice. I feel like the sizing is very hard. It's not super accurate. I don't feel like I'm a size 0 once again, but the size 1 looked large. And what's funny is the small jacket, like the short one that I have from Moncler, I have in size 1, and that was perfect. So the accuracy of sizing isn't the best, and I feel like there's a big sizing difference in between models. So I would highly recommend to go try it out in the boutique and not to order online from them, because it's not exactly true to size. So now let's address pricing. This jacket right now costs $2,740 plus tax. So we're nearly at double the price, or more actually, than double the price of the Canada Goose one. And for me, there's not a lot of reasoning behind that. So we have the fur. The fur right here is raccoon. On the other one, it's coyote. So it's not the same like material of the fur, but there is a fur. So for me, okay, whatever. You know, it has like the down, that's the same thing. I feel like the difference in price is only justified by the brand, by the fact that it's, you know, classy, classic, French too. So for me, the price on the Moncler one is exaggerated. Obviously I have it, and I'm so glad I got it. I love it. I love wearing it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels, but quite frankly, the price is just way too much and just not justified in my mind. Now let's move on to the level of warmth. So Moncler doesn't have like a ranking like Canada Goose has of like levels of warmth. It's kind of more like up in the air, you have to try them on. So right here for this jacket, for the long one, I would rate it as anywhere from like 0 to -10 Celsius. That seems appropriate for me. So when I went back for Thanksgiving to Canada, I wore this jacket because the temperatures were still quite high. I think it was like -5, something like that. So this was okay. But I do feel that their availability of products isn't as great for really, really warm jackets. I can't think of a single like Moncler jacket that would be appropriate for -30 and below. I really don't think that that exists. They have a few ski jackets. It's obviously a ski brand, but then they're short. So when it's like -30 Celsius and you are not skiing, you don't have like ski pants on, you are freezing your butt. So you want something that's a little bit longer, and they don't have that. So I feel like they have a lot of choices for, you know, lighter jackets, for like lighter puffy jackets, even like, you know, the little vests that don't have sleeves that you could wear when it's like warm outside, you know, when it's like 10 degrees Celsius, you could wear that. They have a lot of choices when it comes to that. But for really, really warm jacket, I feel like the availability of products isn't there. And it's by design, you know, it's a French brand, it's not a Canadian brand, so that does make sense. Finally, let's talk about the pros and cons. I feel like a big pro of Moncler is going to be the wear and tear, or to say it better, the lack thereof. Quite frankly, on my shorter jacket, there is no wear and tear, like I said. So you are going to be able to hold on to that jacket for a really, really long time, for 10 years, maybe even 15 years, which I don't think is going to be the case of the Canada Goose. So that's a big pro. Another thing that I forgot to mention maybe about the Canada Goose is the weight. So right here, it's very lightweight, which means that, you know, when you need to carry it like on your arm, you're not breaking your arm. And it also feels like nicer, maybe a little bit less, you know, heavy on yourself. So the weight of it is really light. The weight of the Canada Goose jacket, when I was holding it to talk to you, it was a workout. It's definitely heavy. I feel like there's more down, but that's also justified because it's warmer. So, you know, you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons, actually. Yeah. So I would say that's the two main things in terms of pros for Moncler. Next would be the versatility. You know, obviously this can be worn in the countryside, on like a walk outside, would be nice and cozy, but you could also wear it on a date in like downtown New York City, or like, you know, something like really fancy would be fine. So the versatility and the fact that you can take it from day to night, from like, you know, a casual outing to a nice event, is a big plus for this jacket. And now for the cons, the main cons for me are going to be the price. The price is just too much. It's not justified, aside from like this teeny tiny little logo that's right here. Other than that, I mean, I understand that like the wear and tear is a lot better than the Canada Goose, so you're gonna have it for a longer time, but this is more than double the price. So for me, the pricing is a big con. And then the next thing I would say is the sizing. It's not true to size. So for me, this wasn't a big deal because there is a Moncler store in DC. I actually got it in New York City first, but there is a Moncler store in DC, so it's fine for me to go into the store, and you know, they always treat you nicely with like some champagne and stuff, so that's okay. But if you do happen to live in the countryside or anywhere kind of far from a Moncler store, then that would possibly be a con for you. So in conclusion, I would say that my recommendation would err towards the side of Moncler if you're looking for something fancy, if you're looking for something that's versatile and that will last a long time. But on the other hand, if you don't want to splurge, if you don't want to spend too much money, and if you want to be super duper warm and super comfortable, then I would definitely get a Canada Goose jacket. Obviously, it's best to have both. Both is the best of both worlds. But if you could only have one, again, probably Moncler for the look and the aesthetic, and then Canada Goose for the warmth.